Welcome back, everybody, to What is Ginger. And today we have to talk about the entirety of SummerSlam with the ups and downs that have happened over the past week. And I mean, me and Mark were busy at the weekend, but still managed to find a way to get to watch it. And I'm glad I watched it when we did.
Mm. That's why God gave us VPNs.
Exactly.
Mm. Yeah, well, it certainly was like an interesting weekend for anybody that hasn't caught up with the mass amounts of shorts that Debbie done for us for the channel. Like she was up both nights watching it. What powered through, still going to work next day, so she's an absolute trooper. So well done to Debbie for that. That's why I thought we'll just get the guys in, and give her a break because she was just firing through them.
Shout out to
Definitely
Debbie,
well
man.
deserved with the amount of content Debbie put out there. Well done, Debbie.
Yep, I got us over the 100 video mark, so way hey.
Yeah.
So I think the main thing we need to talk about is like the beast incarnate in the room. I think that's got to be the first talking point. What Mark is the only one that had it. What did you do at your arm, man? Larry, what did you do at your arm?
I think I've done myself a wee bit of mischief at training last week. I've pulled something in my elbow / bicep. It's K-tape, the mad fucking tape that you see wrestlers wearing all the time. A sensei suggested I put that on and it's relieved the strain for it. I was just saying there when you suggested the beast incarnate in the room, I thought my dog was hidden enough, but dog is lying here sleeping. I thought that was maybe who you were pointing at.
Well, if the dog makes a cameo, I will point it out. What we love the cameos, in anything that we do. But I think Mark needs to lead us with the Brock Lesnar one because you're the only one out of all of us that had the take he was coming back.
Yeah. I had to prove my predictions was right, my man.
It was. So you hit the nail on the head.
That was not a prediction. That was a spoiler.
So what made you think that he was going to be?
That was a spoiler that did in fact spoil night 2 for me. I managed to stay off socials all day and totally forgot that the night before Mark made the wrestling specific group chat and come in for work. Thought, right, there's a message for a group chat. That must be work related. Click, Brock's back. Away you basket you.
Oh man. What made you think that he was coming back?
Just for everything that I've read online, for them starting to sell his merchandise back on the WWE marketplace, and I'm pretty sure they have name dropped in quite a few of the episodes of Raw as well too. So it all adds up, you know what I mean? And the way they brought him back was freaking priceless. It brought back was it like 2012 when he returned again when John Cena. And he came out to John Cena and just utterly destroyed him.
Yeah. Definitely had that kind of we're playing back the hits moment.
Oh, definitely, man.
Obviously, we'll use our favorite word when we talk about anything that is related to wrestling. It's allegedly. So allegedly, Brock has been mentioned in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. They only mentioned it was like a WWE UFC star. People put two and two together, came up before. Later on, it's come out saying that while he was basically scheduled to ride this bird, he didn't actually perform on the night because he was too pissed. Allegedly. So it was.
We've all been there.
Well, yeah, but normally with our own wives.
I'm just pointing out the too far gone to perform.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we've all been there in that exact stipulation, but we've all been there when we've been a bit too far gone.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that apparently we mentioned that it was unwise doing what he was going to do, but he didn't do anything wrong. But at the same time, you were planning pumping another bird when you're still married to Sable.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing because it was the Janelle Grant lawyers that said we didn't do anything wrong, and now they've come out saying, "Oh, this is the tip of the iceberg, everything that's coming," and I'm a bit not sure of what to do because everything is an alleged. So, Kev is our main cover of allegedly. What do you think of this whole Brock situation? Do you think it's going to have like a massive backlash on them, or do you think it's just going to be they don't give a shit?
I mean, there's not really much they can do to like the WWE as a whole because they're not mentioned in anything.
Mm.
It's certain people within the organisation who no longer work there. Now, when Brock Lesnar comes in, he doesn't come in with a contract.
Mm.
He's never had a contract since he left the first time with that Goldberg fight, and then he's come back. He's never had a contract. He's came in and said, "I'll work this many days. I want the championship for this many days. I'll take this amount of money." And then Vince has just went, "No bother, Brock. You've got it."
Mm.
And that was it. There was never pen on paper. It was just Vince saying, "This is what's happening. Brock's got this deal." I was like, "Oh, where's the paperwork for that? Don't worry about paperwork. We'll put it through my dealings."
So it's in the tax man.
Mm.
So it's like they can't go after anybody currently in WWE because all of them left when this court case started appearing.
Mm. It's something that I'd heard, like, because I watched a few, like, the podcasts and stuff, what, something they said, what, maybe they should have tested the waters first, like, when WWE were doing the in memoriam of Hulk Hogan, that maybe they had, like, a voiceover from Vince McMahon, just like a wee, like, rest in peace Hulk Hogan kind of thing, to test the waters to see if all this controversy around it really was dying down before they brought out Brock and essentially doubled down on it. What and then we got the whole the post show scrums are now cancelled. What no surprises there. I'm pretty sure that's what was going to shoot them in the foot. Ray, how do you see this one working with Brock coming back?
Yeah, as much as I was surprised, and I was at, believe it or no, while I was watching it, I thought it was quite a good way to end the show. But it confused me as to how they were going to continue even just the storyline using Brock. I don't know how it's going to. Like, I was surprised to see John Cena drop the title.
Hmm.
So how did the rest of the world expect us to see Brock coming in and annihilating them at the end?
Yeah. Well, something that
Where
something I was thinking about as well. Brock is very much known for not wanting to leave America when it comes to any type of like fights or whatever. And there isn't many dates left for Cena to run. And everybody's talking about how he's going to be going to Paris. Do you realistically see Brock getting on a plane and going to France? Do any of you see that happening?
no,
Did
And I
they
I
not
don't
think
fight
doubt
back
that's ever going
against
to
it
happen.
in Japan?
Hmm. Well, it would depend on obviously. I think they gave him essentially his own private jet anytime that he did have to go abroad because he just hates it that he hates traveling that much. Well, but understands sometimes it's part of the business. So he's like, right, well, I'm in the position of power. I want my own private jet. And Vince is just like, cool, that's fine. Well,
that's
Nice,
good,
man.
man.
yeah. But do you think under this kind of the Triple H regime that they'll bow to that?
Maybe. I think they
Got
will.
back,
Not as much.
got back. Yeah.
Mm. Which just makes you think, like, what are they going to focus around? Like this, because Ray's mentioned a good point about the storylines. It's kind of thrown what were looking to be set storylines into a bit of jeopardy. It's like Cody, who's he going to face now? He's back got the title, but who's he going to face? This thing was seen it seemed to be a very rushed payoff. Turn him back face because it works better with Brock as a heel. Although I thought Cowboy Brock was fucking hilarious, but I can understand why they wouldn't bring him back as a face just in case of everything. Right, so how since you'd mentioned it, how do you think they could play this out storyline wise?
See, I'm not sure. I reckon something I pointed out to the wife yesterday was that one of the reasons Brock kind of left WWE was it not down to the fact he wasn't uncontracted allowed to challenge for the championship again while somebody had it.
Hmm.
That person no longer has the title, so Brock could in fact come back and just start challenging for the title again. Because well, the time's up. I'm allowed to start challenging again.
Hmm.
I can
But
see it going the
I
route
think it
as
would be better if they
time.
continued it the way down the lines of, like you said, a bit playing the John Cena's greatest hits.
Mm.
Well, maybe John Cena could start bringing out some of these older moves that maybe some of the moves that he pulled out on Sunday there. They
Mm.
surprised me. Like he's shooting star press on the, that's not even the right word. Sunset flip on the
Yeah.
outside of the ring. Haven't seen that out of John Cena in years.
Oh, that was
Could he
amazing.
potentially take on Brock using the moves from way back at the start of his career? Now he's an older man. Is he a smarter man for all that? We don't know. It'd be nice to see.
Mm. And it's definitely something like that I'd noticed as well that it seemed like John had basically said, I want Brock back to fighting for my run. Now, whether they're kind of doing damage control because they think Cena's untouchable because it's his final run, knackers some of that negative press, I'm not sure. But a lot of people are now saying that Cena in Hollywood could be in trouble because he's backed someone that has allegedly been part of something that has been, well, let's just say, not very nice. So, Kev, like, as a resident gentle dork, so covering like that kind of pop culture, DC zeitgeist thing, do you think his reputation in Hollywood could take a knock with this?
I don't think it could. Just look at who the president is and everything that's happening around him just now, and all the stories and all the things that people want released. He's not getting a hit for that.
Mm.
People still love Donald Trump. Look at what The Rock done to DC.
Allegedly, they love Donald Trump. Allegedly.
I had to point that. I had to add that.
That
Look at what The Rock done to DC. He tried to take over DC. He came out and said it. James Gunn's come out and said it. Peter Safran's come out and said it. It didn't work.
yeah.
It didn't give him. He's had no hit from it. He's still doing all the things that he was doing. He's still one of the highest paid actors out there, next to John Cena, next to Batista. No matter what these people do, unless it's like go out in the middle of a street and kill someone or go on a massive killing spree, it's not really going to change what people think of them. So I don't think it's going to take a hit.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with Trump being in power. Like, I think WWE could get away with basically doing anything, and because he's a wrestling mark, as well as being one of the most powerful people in the world right now, they'll be fine. But I would love to see like a presidential strap match, like two alleged beasts, Donald Trump and Brock Lesnar, head to head, like Viagra on a pole match. That's your call.
Well,
That's your callback, and my mic drop.
well, Donald Trump is the only president to ever take a Stone Cold Stunner. So what else could he do?
Yeah, did you see that picture that resurfaced like Trump and like the McMahons they were at the White House, and it said like statistically Stone Cold Steve Austin has stunnered 46% of people in this picture, including the president.
Sure enough.
So far is the new
Yeah.
one I've seen.
Yes, so far, there's still plenty of time. So I think we've had enough beast talk. So let's get into like the actual, SummerSlam, because it's covered 2 nights. We can't break it all down in one episode. We've only got like 40 odd minutes. So what I'll do is I'll just ask each of you guys what was your best and your worst match over the 2 nights. Kev, we'll start with you.
My favourite match was actually Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. For the sheer fact that Jelly Roll done fantastic in that match. He's not at his physical peak, but compared to when you first started seeing him jumping about in the wrestling, he trained like fuck to get into an amazing shape for that match. And as someone who had never wrestled a match in his life, he's done better than half the people that are doing it right now. He took the bumps fantastically, especially that one on the table.
Yeah.
looked
Oh
painful.
man, that was
Properly.
amazing.
Aye.
I was surprised he took that, and props to him.
I know,
Aye,
hats off to the guy. He did amazing in that match.
Yeah.
I know. And as much as I hate Logan Paul as a person, his personality is ridiculously shit. I hate him. But in the ring, he is
He's
spot
amazing.
on. He's fantastic. And he is probably one of the best professional wrestlers in the business just now. And I hate to admit that. How much, since we started doing this and he came in, how much have I hated him?
Mm.
And every time I say, I hate him, but that was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Every time.
He
So
performs really well, man.
right. So your worst match, Kev?
It was probably Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. I think they're pushing Jade too quickly. She was doing great work in AEW, but that was AEW when it was just starting. It was like indie light. She's came to the big time, and they're pushing her too much, and it's not working. She needs to be mid card for a bit longer before she takes that push.
Mm.
And it's like botchmania watching her matches in WWE.
Mm-hmm. She's just flopping in there, man. Like, I don't really enjoy watching her.
Mm.
She's got the potential. We've seen her doing great things in AEW. When she was like the top person there, she was great, but she was working with people that weren't at a level physically with her,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
so she could take her time. Whereas in WWE, you need to be at a certain physical peak to be where they are. And she's there physically, but mentally, I think she's not ready.
No, no, yeah. I'd say she'd be better off in NXT.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mark,
Aye, developmental side of it, building a character a bit more.
aye. Well, Mark, we'll go on to you now. What would you say was your best match over the 2 nights?
I'd say the CM Punk and Gunther match. I like that. Just the sheer fact as well, in the group chat today, I predicted Seth Rollins was going to be coming back in and he was going to cash in and relight the feud with CM Punk.
Yep, you bloody called it. What you called? Well,
Yes, man.
you called it that injury was a work, and you were right.
Yeah, definitely, man.
See,
But I
I expected that to be. I expected the injury to be legit, but I expected a similar sort of comeback later in the year.
Mm.
Maybe
like a
near the
Triple H
end
type
of
deal.
Cena's farewell tour.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to entice him to try and entice him to stay around a wee bit longer.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been one for like a question mark kind of thing, like where it leaves it with he's out, but it's a bookend. It's like a question mark of like he could potentially come back and avenge this, like a wee loose thread. I could see
Aye,
that.
I was kind of expecting possible with them making Naomi to cash in at Evolution.
Mm.
I thought it might have been an idea for them, right? Give the fans enough time to forget that the other Money in the Bank never got cashed in.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
But
Uh, it,
have
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman walking about dangling it in front of everybody all the time,
yeah.
no knowing when it was going to get cashed in.
So your worst match, Mark?
I'd say the worst match, I agree with Kev. It had to be the Jade and Tiffany match. Like it was just a not a flop, but it wasn't entertaining. Near it
Yeah.
was, and I think I'd agree with what Kev was saying. She needs to develop a lot more. Tiffany, I like her. She is quite entertaining to watch,
Mm.
but it's just the stuff with Jade that just seems to be doesn't seem to get my attention. That's you came on where I'm coming through with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean. So Ray, what about you? What was your best match of the SummerSlam?
See, being that I'm an old school Hardy Boys fan, old school Dudley Boys fan, got to be the 25th anniversary TLC match.
Mm.
I honestly, going into it, I expected it to be difficult to watch because there was so many participants. But with it just being sure fire, different extreme spots. Probably my favourite one was Candice LeRae through that ladder.
Yes.
Oh,
It was a big throwback to TLC2 with Lita and
Yeah.
Rhino and Spike coming in to help. At one point, I actually lost track of what members of the Wyatt Six started in the match.
Mm.
But at the end of it just was an overall extreme. The type of thing, guys like myself who grew up watching the Hardy Boys, you want to see that kind of thing again. Well, Adam Pearce gave us it by throwing the heel tag team division into one fucking match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your worst match?
Being honest, I'm saying it was AJ versus Dom because that match bored me that much. I started scrolling on the phone.
Mm. That is actually probably a good measuring stick for it. Like if you lose your attention and you find yourself doing something else, what?
Aye.
It definitely makes
It was one of the ones. As I was watching it, I was kind of sending my pal wee voice clips, just like a kind of running reaction, so to speak, because he had already watched it. So I could mention right this part in the match, that part in the match, and we could converse about it from there. I totally lost track of what like the Hell pay-per-view when the AJ and Dom match was on. Like I said, I love AJ Styles, but just that work didn't like bite me, so to speak.
The to Eddie Guerrero was pretty cool, wasn't it? The lowrider and the Knives.
Aye, the lowrider was cool, and I didn't actually realise that was a kind of 20th anniversary throwback.
Mm-hmm.
That at the same time, it was the only really thing that grabbed my attention from it was AJ and his son coming in the lowrider.
Yeah. I mean, you had that. You had the thing with the boot. What they attempted, like throw the chair, lie down. Him AJ clocking onto it and going, no, fuck that, down as well. It's like it was. There was more spots. You remember the spots in the match, like all those, yeah, like the tributes and stuff. Like they were all done expertly well, and I think that was what was maybe the focus of it. It's like let's honor Eddie more than actually essentially put on it. Both guys can work. We know that. We know that they can work. But I think their attention was elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. But it makes you wonder about the one for AJ Styles now. Like he did say this is his last SummerSlam as well, so he's got to be retiring at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So
reckon so.
He's got to get this chance to be the Intercontinental Champion. It's pretty cool to see.
I was going to say the amount of build-up they had for this match, all the backstage bits, where he's just showing up behind Dom going, soon, and then that's the match we get.
I'm waiting, Dom.
We're still waiting.
Aye. It should have been a better match.
I know, because the fan theory that was going around was AJ beats Dom, he's got the IC title, and with what could have potentially happened, Cena drops the belt to Cody, goes after the IC title to finally get get all the Infinity Stones. But obviously all that's been fucked. So unless
that might have been the plan until the Hershey Brock, and then that was the plan until Brock showed up the night before. It's like, okay, so the Brock's here.
Yeah, I think it would have been it would be quite funny if, as a side quest, Brock goes, destroys Dom for the IC title for a laugh because he knows he can do it, and then Cena challenges him for it. Gets the Grand Slam, and leaves with a belt.
Did Brock ever compete for one of the lower tier belts back in the day? I don't remember him ever doing something like that.
No, he was fast tracked.
So it would be quite funny for him to just come in and squash everyone doing the lower levels.
Aye, I would love to see him just like Braun Strowman it, just go in, get the tag team titles for himself, just takes them.
Aye.
Just takes the US title, just takes the IC title, and it's just like, there's no power in the world that could stop me. Cena, hold my beer.
Aye.
Cena
coming back in the ultimate face move to save wrestling after he spent the majority of the year trying to destroy it.
Yeah. So I'll go with my best and my worst for SummerSlam. My best lines up with the TLC throwback match, because Car Crash TV at its finest.
Aye.
It was exactly the tonic that you kind of needed. Like there was no overplayed storylines. There was no like didn't need to focus on any of the stuff going behind it. You just watched a ton of people beat the shit out of each other with tables, ladders, and chairs. It looked brutal.
Scramble for that title.
Yep, and try and do that title. I loved the throwback where it was what it's like Gargano, was it Gargano or Ciampa? What they're dangling for the belts. Tries to do the
When
spear, and
aye,
he's like, nope, I've seen this move before. Blocks it, and he stays
yeah,
up. That core strength. I was like, fuck me.
That was amazing, man. Aye.
Yeah,
that is funny, Andrew. Are you sure you weren't in my message threads to my pal yesterday? Because that's essentially how mine and his conversation went as I watched that.
are you sure it was your
I
pal?
pointed out to him that I'm not sure now. I'm actually not sure. Well, I am sure it was my pal because he speaks Viennese and you speak Scottish at least.
I tried.
But we mentioned that it was as if Tommaso Ciampa was hanging up there going, shit, I've seen this before. And he sees Nathan Fraser running up the ladder and going, right, you've clearly seen this before too, but I bet you've not seen this coming. Nope. And he just hangs there and watches it. It's like, screw you. That was when we were talking about how they were paying tribute to the previous TLC, but they weren't doing it as obvious
Yeah.
as what they were in AJ and Dom.
Like because what Mark's got his Millhouse Simpsons background. I bet you Eden. See when that spear happened and he missed. Jeff Hardy was doing that Miss Hoover meme. I didn't know we could do that. What we could have dodged. I could have dodged it. Saved me 20 years of lower back pain.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, a wee part of me once he. I was going to say a wee part of me wanted the Hardy Boys to just be sitting there and be like, can we not just join in? And they jumped and just went and joined in for a laugh.
Yeah. Well, or just he just randomly like Bubba just grabbed the mic and shouted, "Let Devon get the tables," and you think it's going to happen, and Devon just stands up and goes, "Nah, wait to TNA," and just sits back down.
Let them do it.
But my
can we just be a shout out to all the guys in that match as well? Because like the majority of them are like ages with me, and I'm like, when I was watching the Hardys and the Dudleys do that stuff, I can do that stuff, and I did do bits of that stuff. But watching guys my age for now do that, but I could never do that.
Yeah.
Never.
The frog splash.
I'm never getting acupuncture.
I know it's like you could guys.
My arm shadow boxing.
Yeah, it's like you look at like guys like doing that, like those type of matches, and I'm like, I'm complaining because my tooth's fucking sore.
Aye.
But my worst match of SummerSlam, ironically, was I think it was basically straight after that. I think it was the Becky Lynch Lyra Valkyria. I did overproduced, botch fest. Like the storyline, just let it die. It was boring when it was boring when it happened. It's like because it was the wrong move to turn Becky. I know they turned Becky heel because Seth's heel. Fair play. But she'd just come back. There was a huge pop for her. Flip the script, make Valkyria a heel. That would have worked, I think, better because the way that Valkyria especially was selling, not babyface selling. I think she needs more. She got exposed because Becky couldn't really carry her. It looked like it should have been a match that would have been a banger, but it just didn't work at all. Yep. And that cable tie sequence, where she's like, it comes out it comes. She's just slithering it back in. Like any wrestler from like the Attitude Era days would have called an audible. With the wrecking down, look, this is fucked. Let's try this on the fly, and it probably would have actually been a better outcome. Even the fact Michael Cole said on the commentary, it looks like she's got out of it. And they went, no, it's fine. So we all knew as well.
You could see clearly like her hands were that distance apart at one point. Then when she gets them back together, she's actually put her hand back in the ring way. And she's had to go under the ring to take it back out, to put it back in, to get it back out, and then go, look, oh man, I managed to break it.
It's like I managed to break it because conveniently Hornswoggle was under there with a pair of scissors.
It's different.
I
Like,
thought he would have just missed it.
yeah, like when the fact that like Bailey, she get involved in this car crash as well. Like,
She's just irrelevant as well to him,
it's
man.
like it's like so I think Bailey is the one that's truly been shafted out of all of it because it was hard it was meant to be doing the WrestleMania thing, but big time Bex came back and essentially fucked the spot. They're trying to give her something to get her back in the game, and it
It's not
didn't work for me. I think it says something that three of the guys for their worst matches were all women's matches. We're not intentionally being sexist. Debbie can attest to that. But just
But I'll change my answer. My worst match had to be the steel cage match. Jacob Fatu and Solo.
mm,
I wasn't really keen in that match. That just nah.
it was
Jacob Fatu should have won it.
it was a toss up. See, the only thing that swung it for me with the Fatu match that dive off the top of the steel cage.
Oh,
The
the moonsault,
moonsault to
that
the
was
end.
amazing.
The moonsault. That was the one I was like, Justin no more. That sold it for me. I liked the
That was the
Tiffany
top
Stratton
moment.
Jade Cargill match, but it was just that way. I was like, I think I'm just desensitized by Cargill's not being able to work. Whereas like with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie to an extent, we know that they can put on a clinic. We know that they've had good matches. They
They can
can
put
raise
on
their
a
game.
banger, man.
It just didn't work, and that's why I was like, no, like, I'm just not just no feeling it, brother. Not tonight,
And the
brother.
fact that the only titles that changed hands were the World Championship.
Exactly,
Mhm.
and like
No other titles changed hands.
the World Heavyweight
The tag
Championship,
titles did.
The WWE title.
Women's tag titles did.
women's tag
And
titles.
the women's
Yeah,
tag titles.
it's like they
That was a
changed that.
good match.
It was, but that was a very good match. Like, so there we go. What we're no sexist credit where credit's due.
And the same with the triple.
Even though we forgot the fucking match existed.
Yeah, and the triple threat match as well
How
too, man.
did we
That was a
forget?
good
It's
match.
got Alexa Bliss in it.
Exactly, but it had Charlotte Flair in it as well.
That's why we forgot.
There we go. There we go.
That's
There
why
was
we forgot. It's no sexism. It's just
exactly
Charlotte Flair.
Alexa Bliss being there, positive, negative. Liv Morgan's out injured, couldn't he be there? Well, if we had that triumvirate, I think that could have worked out well.
Mhm.
What? But yeah, I would say overall, what would you guys say overall for SummerSlam? Like, hit or a miss?
I say it was a hit. I'd get an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, right?
Yeah, I'd say it was definitely a hit. It's one of the better pay-per-views, most exciting PLEs I've watched in a long time. I'm going to give it a 9.
9. Kev?
Probably an 8 as well. It's been one of the best plans this year, and we're more than halfway through the year.
Yeah,
So that's saying something. We've not had many decent ones.
that's true. But in my case, I'd probably go 7. But because there were some good things on the cards, but the only things that I think the SummerSlam PLE is going to be remembered for, Brock's return, Seth's cash in, and I think
That's
that
a prediction.
yeah, and I think that's a massive disservice to it because what we've all mentioned, all great matches that were on that card, and I think in time those are two things that's going to be remembered for, and I think that's a shame because because that mid card and undercard they worked their asses off, and John Cena worked his ass off as well, but the only thing he'll be remembered for with that is convenient face turn. Brock came back and F5'd him. Doesn't deserve that.
Aye.
So we've managed to cover it and on time too. I think we're finally getting the hang of this, guys.
You're acing it,
Aye,
lads.
it just shows you practice makes perfect.
Yeah, just shows if we all turn up and actually put our minds to something, we can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Mark and Kev need to go in a stag do more often.
That's
can't
when the
afford
best
that.
pay-per-views seem to happen.
Yeah, well, it just seems that. But guys, thank you so much for coming on and covering SummerSlam for us.
Pleasure, my man. Pleasure.
Debbie, even though you're not here, thanks for all the short form content you gave us. Well, our subs have rocketed up because of you, so we appreciate that.
Shout out to Debbie.
Definitely. And until next time, see you later.
Over and out.
See you guys.